I'm so glad and happy for having Dee here connecting us with our partners around money. So thank you, Dee, for being a yes.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, definitely. So Dee, as I was connecting with you before starting the recording,
Yeah, that was
I would
fun.
say that money is such a big part, all right, in our lives, and often, yet often it's the hardest thing to talk about, especially
Hmm.
with our partners.
Hmm.
Why is that?
Why is that? You know, um, I'll point to one key reason, and we didn't grow up together, right? The partners did not grow up together. They did not have the same families. And so, invariably, your family that you grew up in had a way of handling money or talking about it or not talking about it. But you learned things from your parents or your extended family or whatever was going on in the circumstances of what money meant. And it's skewed. It's just one perspective and one way of handling it, but that was what you learned. And so that shapes your perspective on money. And it's not going to be the same as your partner's. So that's why. That's the main reason. There can be other things, but mostly it's just that.
Wow, thank you, because this is the first time I look at it this way.
Oh,
First time I feel that, yes, you are connecting me to the roots that
yes.
from where I learned about money is totally different from where my partner
Right.
learned about money, because we all are raised up differently, especially
Yeah.
around money. Oh my God. Yeah, think.
And I think that we don't, like if this is the first time you've really thought of it that way, I think that's very common because we think that money is more like a not dynamic. It's more of, well, it's this way and it's not that way. There's only one way with money, only one way to look at money and how we use money. It's not subjective. And so I think that's why it surprises us that people might have different perspectives on money and handle it differently. And most couples come in thinking, they know maybe they're fighting about money, but they're just thinking, if my partner would just change, if my partner would just look at money and handle it in the right way, in the way that I do.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Unfortunately, this is the scarcity mind. When we always look outside of us to see if they change, that will be better for me. If
Yeah.
person change, if the way he sees the money, I will be content. So I am a victim of his ways. I
Oh.
That's,
Mm-hmm.
this is the scarcity mindset. When we look always to the others, I am victim of his behavior. I am victim of his way of looking at money or handling money. So I put myself as
Yeah.
a victim. So
That is great. I had not used that word before, but I think you're really on to something. Uh-huh.
definitely,
Yeah, it's not me that needs to change. I'm a victim of,
yeah.
uh-huh.
So I take it like this because I am a scarcity in my scarcity mind. But
Mm.
when I am responsible and I look at it from a prosperity mindset, from being the leader of my life, I won't put myself under the victim that
Yeah.
because of him, because how he looks at the money, when he,
Yeah.
instead of looking within me, why
Yeah.
I'm thinking this way? why, how can I shift this and start being the leader of my way of seeing stuff? So
Yeah, so when we come together, we not only need to do two things. We need to actually um, dig a little deeper into our own relationship with money. We need to understand why it is that we look at things and behave in the certain way that we do with money. We need to understand our own relationship with money. And then we need to also understand theirs. So we
absolutely,
need to have those conversations to understand theirs with curiosity and no judgment. That's where we start.
yeah.
And so that applies with ourselves too, being curious and not and no judgment with ourselves as well, because a lot of times we'll come in with guilt and shame
Yeah,
for
yeah,
some of the things that we've done in the past. Mhm.
definitely. We bring the past with us, and whatever is happening in front of us will get triggered, not
Yeah,
because what's happening in front of us, but because of what happened in the past. So
yeah, yeah.
I'm always projecting the past into the future in our lives. In
Mhm.
so when
Mhm.
I heard you saying we come to the table, we connect and we listen. So, and we be responsible, right? It's not his job to make me
Mhm.
feel or think this way. It's my responsibility. My feelings, my thoughts, everything is my responsibility and my actions. So when I
Mhm.
become responsible of what's happening, I believe there is nothing can trigger me because I am already stepping
Hmm.
who how I am responsible for what's happening
Yeah,
around money. So my
yeah.
relationship with money, how I am.
That's a real mindset shift that needs to happen. Both partners need to be open to
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So now let's go back to think about the couples. Most of the couples, right,
Uh-huh.
get wrong when it comes to managing
Uh-huh.
together. So what do must get wrong about when they are managing money?
Um, it- could you ask the question one more time?
Yeah, I say most what do most couples
Uh-huh.
get wrong when
Oh,
they are managing money? Where
right.
they are not aligned when they
Yeah.
are managing money. Most of the time, I'm managing this way, he's managing the other way, and
Mhm.
there is a conflict. So
Yeah, right. The result of that, the consequence of that, which is often why they come for help, along with the relationship strain and the tension and that sort of thing, is they're not accomplishing their financial goals.
mm,
They're not making progress. They feel stuck. So when one person is doing this and the other person is doing that, it doesn't work. You just do not make progress. You're stuck. You're kind of fighting usually against each other. What's happening over here, what you do here pulls this back, and that sort of thing. And it just is very discouraging
mm,
because they both may have good intentions, honestly.
yeah,
Different love language, a different language around money. Like, this is how I love you, and this is how I love our family.
mm,
Um, and the other person has a different idea of how I love and our family. But the combination of those two result in just not making any progress and being stuck.
oh,
So we need to understand what our different approaches are, what our intentions are behind it, and get that out in the open, and then talk about how we could have shared goals. Really get crystal clear about what the financial goals are and how we prioritize those. And that's where I come in and helping them flesh that out and then understanding kind of how we prioritize that and what is the plan to accomplish those. We can bring both of those people in, both partners in with their different behaviors, and we can make that work. We can bring that together to make that progress. Um, a lot of times they have forgotten their dreams too. If you're not making progress, you just get so discouraged and you've just forgotten your dreams. You don't even talk about them anymore. You know why? Because we're not heading in that direction. I mean, I don't think we could ever get there. That's the thought. And so we've got to talk about those again. We've got to resurrect them
Yes,
and talk about them. And you may find out that you may not have exactly the same, but it can be a really exciting conversation. And it's like, oh, yeah, I want that too. Or I want that for you, honey, you know? And so resurrecting those and starting to dream again and building your rich life can really be bonding and can get you both behind it and excited about let's do this together. um, and in our work together, of course, there's a lot of practical work too. So there's a lot of this, mindset and dreaming and that kind of thing and understanding each other. But then there's a lot of practical work too to actually make that machine work.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And w- what I what I learned now that
Yeah.
it's very essential to come to the table and to speak about and to align with a vision, with something
Very.
that both can be aligned in and make both get excited. And
Yes.
so they go in one direction together. But
Yes.
what would happen if we avoid the conversation?
Right. You'll stay stuck. You'll stay stuck.
Mm,
Yeah. If you said you use the word essential, you know what that means. So it's essential. If we don't have those conversations, then the cycle will just continue, right?
yeah,
And you're not making that progress towards your goals. You're not believing in your dreams. You've forgotten about them. You're not trusting that they could happen. And not to mention in other ways, it's not just impacting the fact that you're not making progress, excuse me, but it does impact your relationship. You're just not enjoying your relationship as much as you could because you're avoiding this. Like, it hasn't worked. I'm just not going to talk about it. We'll just avoid that part. But that's a big part of your lives. And it's a big part that you're sort of shutting off. And one partner may feel it more than the other, but I think probably both feel isolated. It's lonely, right?
yeah,
Yeah, anytime you shut off a part of your relationship, whatever it be, whether it be your physical intimacy, whether it be, um, the way you're parenting your children, any part that you can't, come together on the same page and be a team will erode the strength of your relationship. And that's why this work is really important too. Money is not just objective, it's very emotional and it touches every part of our lives. Mhm.
definitely, definitely. And at the same
Yeah,
time, I could say and see that how we do one thing, we do everything. Because we are who we are wherever we go, either with the relationship with money, it reflects our relationship with the partner, with a friend,
yeah,
because if we are not intimate
yeah,
in discovering and connecting and talking and getting into details with
yeah,
our partner, how would we be able to get details and intimate with money, to create money, to bring money to the table, to look at the money in the bank, to look at the table sheet or whatever, right? So
yeah,
everything will be connected and linked to each other. This is what I heard you saying, that
Yes.
this is part of the relationship. The money,
Yeah.
big part of the relationship, and it affects the relationship,
Right.
because if I am not fully present with the money and talking about the money with my partner, that
Mm-hmm.
that is also a picture of me talking about different stuff. Maybe in my business, I am hiding. I'm avoiding conflict. I'm avoiding something. I'm avoiding growth, right?
Right. Missing opportunity to strengthen your relationship. Maybe, other areas are strong and your relationship will, you're committed, and you love each other and you will stay together. I mean, some people, this can actually drive them apart. It's that one of the top three reasons for divorce. But you still, even if have a strong bond in other areas such that you'll stay together, you're still missing opportunity.
Mm.
And as I was hearing you talk about this too, I was also thinking of pointing out that it does not mean that both partners have to be great with numbers. It does not mean that both people have to have their head into a spreadsheet. It does not mean that they have to be the one who's making investing decisions, right? It means that, we use our strengths. So one may be stronger in this area. They may actually do sort of the daily nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
Whereas the other one has a strength in this area in the money world. So, we figure out what those are and tap into that. So if you're one that's listening and you're like, but I hate numbers and I just don't even like to think about money, can I just enjoy my life?
Yeah.
Well, maybe your partner will take over the responsibility or already has for some of the other things, some of the real logistical stuff. But you still need to have those conversations and you still need to be cooperating with each other and you still need to touch base with each other on, so how are we doing? What's our progress? Is what we're doing aligned with what we have, our values and with the goals that we've chosen. So those conversations still need to happen. But that's just to kind of throw that out there. It's like, no, you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be, spend your life looking at the numbers. In
Yeah.
fact, eventually we work on systems so that they're automated so that, you can get on with your life. You don't
I
have to live in money,
love that.
right?
And
Yeah.
yeah, I said that because most of the women entrepreneur, they get to
Yeah.
be present in their worksheets to understand
Yeah,
their.
that's true.
So and if they avoid that, they are avoiding it in the house, they are with the partners, they are avoiding it else also in their business. So
It
so
happens.
yeah,
Hmm.
so and that being said, I want to ask you, okay,
Okay.
so always some things get to go back to the mindset. So
Hmm.
what mindset shift can help women stop doing avoiding conversations and avoiding talking about money with their husbands. So
Yeah.
what mindset shift they need? They might support them to accept receiving support, because when we avoid something, we are
Hmm.
avoiding receiving support. So
Hmm.
thing, I don't want to show up, I don't want to share with him, let me fix it
Yeah.
by myself, whatever. So
Yeah.
they need to shift so they can accept receiving support, because receiving support for me
Yeah.
is just like they are holding back and not receiving even money, because
Yeah.
work both
Right.
different areas in our lives.
That is such a great question. It really is because that's often where we are, right? So what's the first small step to take is what I'm thinking, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because you're avoiding it and you're avoiding it out of fear. You're afraid of something.
Hmm.
Maybe you're afraid of what you'll find out about money. Has it been mismanaged? How bad is it really? Maybe you're afraid of your partner's reaction. Like you can sense that they're controlling or they are super anxious about this area, that it might be volatile. Like if I, you know, go into this conversation, is it just going to blow up in my face and make me feel worse about myself? I'm just suggesting a few different fears. There
Definitely.
could be, yeah, there could be so many others, but you're avoiding something out of fear. So I do think you need to reflect and think about what your particular fear is.
Hmm.
Now, for example, and of course, you can't stay there. You're gonna have courage, right? You're gonna have to step in. You're gonna have to step in and have courage and take that very small step. An example of a fear might be, because this is pretty common, if you are the one who has been avoiding money because conversations have been volatile with your partners. Like, why would I have a conversation, with them if it's just going to end up in a fight? So that's so common. So I would suggest maybe a real practical application in this situation would be, okay, I'm going to come to my partner and I'm going to say, I love you so much. But I find that when we talk about money, we fight. And I don't want that for us because it impacts our relationship. And I know that I haven't done things perfectly. So you come very humbly. I know I haven't done things perfectly. There's so many things I could do better, and I want to do better. Um, and I want us to do better. Um, let's start with a conversation with that approach. I want to just find out more. This is a question that I often suggest that couples have when they first start, is that they just ask each other, how do you feel about money? And how do you want to feel about money?
Hmm.
So if that woman could come to their partner and with sort of that humility that I suggested, and then suggest, let's have a conversation. Maybe let's go out for dinner. And I just want to have us ask each other these two questions. And then I would suggest that it's mentioned, we're just going to have curiosity. We're not going to go back and forth about it. I just want to ask and I just want to listen.
Hmm.
And then it'll be my turn or your turn to ask me. And I just want to be able to explain. And then we're going to go talk about something else. That's it. There's no agenda.
Hmm.
We just want to go in with curiosity and listen to one another. That's a great way to start the conversation with knowing there's no agenda, um, and having those parameters.
Hmm. I love that.
That's where we might start. Somebody's got to take the lead, right? Somebody's going to say, we need to do this better, and let's have a conversation. When I'm coaching and working with people, this is often what I suggest, and then they have me. They have a third party. Even though this conversation they might do on their own, they have a third party, and I set those parameters, and they come back and they give me feedback, and we digest it and that sort of thing. So having that third party and that accountability partner can really help. I know that it can be very scary doing it on your own.
Yeah.
Um, and that's where a coach steps in and can really, facilitate that when they bump up against
Yeah.
trouble.
So not anybody be your third, right? Your coach,
Yeah.
mentor, someone who is really specialist, someone who is a
I,
neutral. Because most of my
yeah,
lives we look, oh, my friend said that. Oh, my mom said that. Oh, no,
right.
no. You get to look for someone who is neutral, can give
Yes.
you honest, direct feedback, not
Yeah.
something just to like babysitting you or no. right? We need
Mhm.
someone who is really honest with us and see the big picture and support us to reach it.
Right. And that's where financial coaches step in. Financial advisors is a different thing.
Yeah.
And in fact, that's just such a general umbrella term too. So you do have to be careful even then when you're working with a financial advisor. But even when you've got a really good one, they're not doing this kind of work.
No, this is the best way
Yeah.
I notice because it is about how we be as a human being before the doing. It,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? We think that oh, just numbers, do this, do that, do, and
Yeah.
the end of the doing, we lost the connection, we lost the relationship. So
Right.
I am so into your way of doing it because this is the way of connecting the relationship.
Hmm.
The baby burst is the money,
Hmm. Hmm.
not the do.
Yeah, I really appreciate you recognizing that. Hmm.
Yeah, we get to be first. We get to be in relationship with what we are doing and
Hmm.
connected, aligned with, and then do. I'm not saying that the being just we will be like a magic,
No.
and then
Yeah.
do the work.
Yeah, right, exactly. And the coaching experience is both of those things. It's the being and it is the doing.
Absolutely.
So it is the mindset and it is the practical work too. So it's all, wrapped up in that. And, just as a reminder, unless we do the being part, the consequences are a broken a broken relationship, or if not that, really missing opportunity for it to be even better and to enjoy money, be in control of your money and enjoy it. Walk through life with it working for you. And the other consequence is, yeah, just staying stuck, not making that progress. And when we don't make that progress and we feel that discouragement, it builds upon itself and it impacts other areas of our life, that stress, not to mention that you may not have the financial security that you want and you need for the future.
And we
And
become
it is hard to catch up later.
yeah, and we become again victims because
Yeah.
blaming
Yeah.
ourselves, blaming others,
Yeah, yeah,
ourselves, blaming others. Why this happened to me? Why? What did I do? All these stuff. So,
yeah. We're really good at that. That's human nature,
yeah,
right? It's a way
right.
of running away from the reality and
This is
taking
what building.
responsibility, like you had said.
This is what build the growth, right? The growth
Yeah,
is built when we have a vision
yeah.
of ourselves moving forward, not
Uh-huh.
blaming, not shaming, not complaining. Just be
Mhm.
responsible and move forward and look forward so you build up your prosperity. This is what
Yeah.
we see.
Yeah, that's a great way.
Right.
Great way to summarize that.
Yes. Thank you. I learned that from you. So stop avoiding, just connecting, aligned, be prosperous in your mindset, and
Yeah.
invite your husband or your husband invite you and go and learn from the best coach who is with us today, Dee, that uh, um, will help you anytime you ask for support.
It
So
is my heart. I love working with couples. I love these dynamics. Mhm.
yeah, thank you, Dee. So Dee, this has been such a powerful conversation
I
and
feel that too. Yeah, thank you so much. It was a
yeah, so
joy to
I
talk about.
and practical
Mhm.
at the same time. So
Yeah.
for anyone,
Yeah.
let me see if we can talk a little bit about your gift. I know you have a beautiful gift to help our audience begin the journey of financial harmony. So,
Mhm.
can you share what is your gift for them and how they can take advantage of it.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I'm thinking if anybody is listening to this, this is not out in public, but I would be willing to give them also something that I call a free money assessment. I always have a free discovery session,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
where we talk about what's going on, what's the dynamics, where are your pain points, and what are solutions to make this better, right? And we explore if coaching is a right fit for them and if they're a good fit for my program, right? That's always out there. But I also have a really low price um, offer called a money assessment, where people can actually submit a couple of forms of some financials, and we take a look at where are the gaps
Yeah.
with where they're at and so forth, and maybe just delve a little bit into what are the issues behind that and how can you get unstuck. So, anyone listening to this is welcome to have it. It's normally $97. Again, low price anyway, but would love to offer that to you just free of charge.
Oh,
Um, and what you will find out, you can walk away from that, just walk away with a few ideas, okay, of what you can do to get unstuck. But what we can also explore is a coaching relationship.
mm,
And I have a program called Wealth Together. And I do personalized one-on-one coaching, but the very exciting thing that I've got going on right now is I'm right around the corner to launching my comprehensive group program, Wealth Together.
wow.
So it's for couples together. It's for couples. They'll be well vetted and it will be a great group. And so you can do that kind of in a group um, dynamic, as well as that will be layered with some one-on-one coaching too. So you'll get that personal attention too, but you'll also have sort of the community of a group and some extra value in the group program. I think it's going to be super exciting. So that is something that if you were to take that step, you'd have the opportunity to.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I believe you will share with us the link so we can share it with
Right.
our audience through our emails sent out.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for asking me about what I can offer and provide for you guys. I appreciate it.
Definitely. So, Dee, what's one piece of advice you would leave our audience with?
I want you to reflect. I want you to reflect in what does your money story look like right now and what does it need? And identify where your fears are and be that powerful woman who takes responsibility, is not the victim, takes responsibility, and identifies what step do I need to improve my relationship with the one that I love around money, and what do I need to do to be prosperous.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mhm.
You for showing us how to create financial harmony, reduce money stress,
Yeah.
and build true prosperity with our partners.
Yeah, you are welcome. Thank you for the privilege. It was my joy.
Oh, my joy too. So, ladies, if you are ready to take the first step toward a peaceful and empowered money journey, don't miss these free offers, money clarity call, and the assessment. It's your
Right.
opportunity to gain insight, feel supported, and explore what's possible together.
May I add one thing?
Sure,
Because
please.
it just occurred to me there might be an objection if someone feels like, but my partner won't come. My partner won't come to the table. So I can't do this. Because my program is for couples, right?
Yes.
Don't hesitate to explore that. Don't hesitate to talk with me about what might be possible.
Yeah.
And I also do work with people who just have to do it alone, right?
Yeah,
But we
fantastic. So,
may,
so
we,
I believe that the best way to connect is just to step first into your a free call
yeah.
on your
Mhm.
agenda, and you discuss with them what works best for you or for them, which program that they can.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And thank you. I know you were trying to wrap up, but it just occurred to me,
Yeah,
you
that's
know, and then people could feel so isolated because it's like, yeah, but mine won't come. And so what can I do? You know, and I'm not leaving you alone. Okay.
Yes, fantastic, fantastic.
Yeah.
So not only for couples when they are together, because when I am responsible, I can
Mhm.
shift the dynamic in the house.
Yeah.
I can
Right.
shift the
Yeah.
dynamic of my partner just by being responsible and
Yeah.
learning, be open to accept support. So
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah.